Now let's move to the project ledger itself, back to the job cost ledger. And we looked at that moments ago as far as the 1408 is concerned. But what are some other things that you'll look for in an accounting system that's purpose-built for government contractors? So opening up a particular contract, what you'll want is the capability of defining your labor categories. What are labor categories? Those are your actual job titles, if you will. So the system gives you the capability of defining for a particular contract your labor categories, including a bill rate. So to give you an example, what that might look like is a project labor category listing. We'll have our labor categories. We've got our billing rate. If we have a new billing rate, in other words, you have a escalation of your billing rates after a certain period of performance, you can define those as well for your different categories. So you'll want a system that's going to be able to define your project labor categories. And actually, any system that you invest in should at least have a job ledger that's separate from the general ledger as well. But when you get into a system such as Sympaq, we give you the capabilities of defining billing rates. On a task level, we give you the capability of defining your modifications. In other words, any contract mods, funding mods, etc. Both in for cost, for withholdings. If there's a fee associated with it, you can define that as well. Contract value, that would be tracking your change orders. And back to the concept of task elements of cost. Each task can have its own cost elements. So here you see consultants, labor, miscellaneous. So once we take a look at those cost elements, we can determine here at this level whether it's billable, whether it can be charged to the contract. If it were to be a cost reimbursable contract, do we get a fee? Is a fee based on a percentage, or is it based on hours? Are there burdens associated with this particular cost element? So I've got labor, and if I go to task rates, this enables me to apply fringe overhead G&A to a particular cost element at a provisional rate that's defined at this level. And we can determine each cost element, whether it's billable or whether it's eligible for fee. So there's some billing rules that should be set up in your project ledger that'll flow down to your billings. After you brief your contract, you determine what's billable, what gets fee, what is burdened, and so forth. So that is a capability that you'll need to have in a adequate job cost accounting system.